Hey there, it's Opu with East Coast Geek Podcast, Stasis Geek, and I'd like to start a new segment called Bookends. I don't think anybody's taking that somewhat clever title, so if I'm the first that has it, yay! But basically, I just want to discuss various books or manga or comics that I've read and let you know how they are, kind of review them, I guess. Um, so we'll see how this goes. I got a couple of them going to record today, but we're going to start off with Goblin Slayer. This is volume 1 of the manga. It takes place in what you could describe as your generic RPG D&D world. There's heroes, there's monsters, and it starts off, you meet this girl, the priestess. She is a level nothing adventurer, just starting with a new party. Your generic mage, martial artist, and adventurer type, warrior type. And they take a mission that may be a little over their heads called, well, just killing some goblins. In this universe, goblins, while they're still relatively stupid, relatively weak, they are pretty good at guerrilla style tactics, and they like to swarm people. So it does not go well for them. Spoiler alert, by the way. And she gets rescued by this armored fellow named, or only called, Goblin Slayer. That's what everybody knows him by. In fact, I don't think many people are known by names in this now that I think about it. I think she's pretty much just called Priestess. The Clerk Girl is just like Clerk Girl or Guild Girl or whatever. So on and so forth. And as opposed to being just overwhelmingly powerful, like, say, a character like from Overlord or from, where we at? Like, not even Grimgar being overpowered because they struggle. But he's not just a strong warrior. He knows Goblin's tactics and he knows how to take them down. Using his own Rambo-ish style, that would be the First Blood Rambo, not the one where he's just basically running around with machine guns all the time. Setting up traps, tricking them, hiding his scent, switching out weaponry, which was important. If your blades get dull with blood and fat from cutting things up, you need to switch out to something sharper or more powerful or more durable, so on and so forth. So, the pros about it: one, the manga's art is pretty good. It is, the story starts off with kind of a subversion, which I kind of just told you about. They don't necessarily give that much personality in Volume 1 to everybody. Part of it's intentional, especially with the Goblin Slayer, because he is set to kill goblins, even though he's technically a more powerful hero and he should be going and doing bigger and better things. He is basically a one-man extermination squad, killing these, just trying to wipe out goblins. Action's pretty good. It's pretty intelligent about how he sets up his tactics and he explains stuff to the priestess as if he's training her. The potential cons: it's a dark fantasy. Think Berserk, and maybe a darker, more graphic Grimgar. So there's nudity, some bad situations that happen when the goblins get a hold of female victims. It absolutely shows the ruthlessness of this world. It's not your standard, oh well, the heroes just run in, save the day, and everything's better forever type of thing. It just shows ramifications of what happens when newbies fail, or the more powerful heroes that could take this job on relatively easily. Why don't they do it? Their ego, and they want the money for it. Because the goblins mostly live near poor villages or farms that can't pull enough resources to hire a veteran. That's why the Goblin Slayer takes whatever job. Let me think real quick. What else was I going to say? Also, so the line blurs. The line kind of blurs on, is the Goblin Slayer just doing this job that needs to be done, or does he get a really dark joy out of it? Which I think he kind of does. He even mentions that. He's like, am I any better than them? He does go around slaughtering what most would be considered off limits, kind of. But I'm trying not to give too much away, so bear with me. Do I recommend this? I kind of do. If, again, this is not for children. This is definitely a M for mature, explicit content. So do not get this for your, 10-year-old niece that's just getting into Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. But, I think it's going to be pretty good. The only risk is that the plot could easily become cyclical in a way. Where, it's okay, well, these goblins are doing an awful thing. Goblin Slayer shows up. He does something really barbaric and kind of horrifies people. But the day is saved. And it could just be that over and over and over again. But the way the ending of the second introduction to another character has a chance to not do that. Maybe they are able to expand more. Maybe Goblin Slayer takes other jobs or is forced into other situations that he isn't comfortable in, because while he's really good at fighting goblins, he doesn't fight many other monsters or creatures or whatever's out there. So there's always that kind of risk to him. I'll definitely stick with it for a couple more volumes. It's getting an anime. I don't know if... I think it's by White Wolf, the same people that did ReZero, so that probably will stay pretty true to the manga. Now, this did come out as a light novel. I haven't read the light novel yet. I wanted to try the manga first. So there are some differences. Stuff that's graphically shown in here is just implied in the light novel somewhat. But the difference is, while in the light novel it's kind of not only just as implied, but its wording is less, how should I say this? I don't want to necessarily use horrific, but it gives off the wrong tone, as opposed to this showing things happening and it's very bad that it's happening. But that's what I've heard. I haven't read it, so if I ever do pick up Volume 1 of Goblin Slayer, the light novel, I will hopefully let you know if I keep doing this or if I get bored of doing it. Anyway, I don't have a rating system. I think you should check it out. Check out at least Volume 1 if you're into that kind of stuff. If you're a fan of Berserk, I think you would enjoy this. Volume 2's not out yet. I think it comes out at the end of April, maybe the next month. So I will hopefully record another one of these and let you know if the story is continuing or if it's going to be that same cyclical type of ordeal. Anyways, thank you for putting up with this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit a like, share it, whatever you want to do, or check out our other videos. I do statue reviews. We do a podcast where we just me and my buddy Jeremy just yell at each other for an hour and a half and try to make each other look silly and dumb. It can be fun, I think. I don't know. Go check it out. Bye.